We created courseware for founders, CEOs, chief revenue officers, chief marketing officers. And the goal was to go through a journey on the mindset, the skill set, and the toolkit necessary to be able to lead not just one, say, virtual assistant or marketing support as a service person, but to be able to grow a team of support agents throughout your go-to-market. Very successful course.
All right, guys, welcome back to the podcast. This is exactly where we talk about anything and everything that has to do with offshoring or outsourcing. So, Jamie, let's talk about it. We just launched a new course that will help or enable the people who are working from Bangladesh to easily work with people from North America. Let's talk about it. What is the course about? Why should people take it? And how will it help the people or the companies who will be working with us? Let's talk about it.
Yeah, so we created something called Global Talent Mastery, and I'll back up. So when we launched Get Levrg, we created courseware for founders, CEOs, chief revenue officers, chief marketing officers. And the goal was to go through a journey on the mindset, the skill set, and the toolkit necessary to be able to lead not just one, say, virtual assistant or marketing support as a service person, but to be able to grow a team of support agents throughout your go-to-market. Very successful course, really gives everything tactically that anyone would need alongside us to support offshore talent. But then let's look at the other side of the fence. You now have talent coming into your business, and we want to better prepare that talent for success. There are cultural nuances, there's productivity nuances, and there's even details. And I'll give a tactical example. In North America, it becomes more ingrained to be able to say no, to be able to, as an example, come to a meeting and have already weighed out a few options. So imagine Nazmul and I are on a call and we encountered a challenge. The challenge is I've got a pink water bottle in my hand and the customer wanted black. Well, in North America, one of the things that's taught more instinctively is I come to a meeting, I describe the situation, I outline the options that I analyzed, and I might give a recommendation for the call. That isn't always ingrained in the culture in Asia Pacific, as an example. And so the culture is maybe used to just saying, give me the work, I'll say yes to it, I won't push back. And then what happens is we pile on work to the point where there's bottlenecks and we might miss deadlines or quality might suffer. So the purpose of this courseware is to teach best practices to ensure that the talent is best prepared for the situations before they start. How do they become wildly productive in their first 100 days so that they prove any legacy biases to be false? Like they come storming out of the gates, to which point the company that they're working for looks at them and says, I need more talent in my business like you, not less. And then how do they scale and improve their careers for the long haul? So that's the purpose of Global Talent Mastery. I'll let you ask any questions, and then we're inventing more. So I just anything that you want to add.
Yeah, absolutely. I, this is this is the way I look at it. It's literally like a guidebook to the candidates, a guidebook to people who will be working with North Americans. So it has the basics of what North Americans expect from somebody who's from this side of the world, right? There is a phrase, right? Common sense. I do not believe in it because I have often seen where maybe something is common sense to me, to the other person who is well educated, he has no idea what I was talking about, and
I
vice
agree
versa.
with you. I agree with you. I think that common sense is cultural. And so
Yes.
that's something that's really important. If you had asked me in my 20s before I'd ever traveled the world, I thought that common sense was just ubiquitous, but it's not actually. It's what is common, what is native practice in your local community or
Hmm.
um,
Hmm.
local language. And ironically, you don't even have to travel outside of North America. What is common sense and courtesy and things that you do here in Toronto, Canada, are
Hmm.
different than I was just in Dallas, Texas yesterday.
Yeah.
And there are cultural nuances on the way that you dress, the way that you
Hmm.
serve people, the way that you eat are very
Yeah.
different than here in Toronto. And we're on the same continent. So
Mhm.
I agree with you that common sense is based on a cultural nuance.
Yeah, and more than anything else, here's my opinion. I think when it comes to clients' dissatisfaction, when it comes to somebody giving the work and he or him or her getting dissatisfied, I've seen it 90% of the time. It was not about quality. It was not even about the work. It was about just miscommunication. That's it. Somebody said something, and the other person heard something else. Like that's the miscommunication. So in this course, we try to make sure that and things that are common sense to North American. We try to cover anything and everything that has to do with that, and also the expectations that the clients might have, and how things should be, like fast internet, and the proper way you should be presenting yourself and everything else. So yeah, if you're listening to this podcast and if you're somebody who just wants to get into offshoring, and I'm talking about from the service delivery person or somebody who wants to work with a North American, if you're listening to this podcast, you can definitely go and check out our course. It's absolutely for free. It's on our website. If you go to the resource section, you'll find it. And the reason I'm talking to we are talking to the founders, why they should care is because this course will enable a lot of people to work easily with the North America. So if you see somebody presenting you certificate from our course, you just then oh, this guy knows the basics. If somebody shows you the certificate from our website, oh, these guys know the ABC of communication, exactly what we can expect, exactly what we the way we communicate. So yeah, I'm really happy that we launched this course, Jamie. And what
Well,
comes
and that,
next?
yeah, I was going to say, and that's what we are making mandatory with all of our, I call them kind of service agents. And so we have marketing support as a service, sales support as a service, customer support as a service, virtual assistants. They have to do this courseware to become part of our community to serve our customers. And that means that what do you get as a founder? You get somebody who's taken the time to learn, how do I become as productive as possible to serve us North Americans? Now, I'll kind of let the cat out of the bag. And I brought this idea to Nazmul. Actually, it was given to me by an advisor. One of the things that we want to work on and build, what we're building right now, is within every role. Let's take marketing support as a service or sales support as a service. Every task that we are capable of completing and are important to you as the customer, we're documenting in standard operating procedures. So we already been doing these tasks, but it's about codifying them into standard operating procedures. But then we're going to have courseware like a university course to teach these standard operating procedures to students in Bangladesh. And what that will do is create a larger and larger community of ready agents who are able to serve you, who have taken the moment to learn and practice all of these standard operating procedures. To which point, when you turn on the on switch with us, you have teammates that know how to become productive. They know how to do these standard operating procedures, and you're executing right away. So that's the big goal of what we're doing is a double-sided marketplace. We're teaching you, the founder, how to maximize offshoring best practices. And at the same time, your candidates are coming in ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, with this, Jamie, let's close this podcast because we both know very well people love listening to our podcast when it's within like 15 minutes or something. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. If you're watching this on YouTube, do subscribe, and if you're listening to this podcast or any other platform, do follow us. And until next time, thanks, Jamie. Take care. Bye bye.
Take care.